Oh, wow. That actually timed out right. All right, cool. Hangouts on Air is going away August 1st. Oh, so that's cool. Well, that's an Aldo problem. Um,
There we go. That's better.
yeah.
First, there it is. Why did I not get the?
Would you
Oh,
go
there.
live? Is that what the countdown was? Live?
Oh yeah, we're live, baby. Don't worry, no one watches until like 3 days after, anyways.
5 people then, right?
I actually, because I had to do this, I like looked at the analytics and stuff. People actually watch this shit.
They do?
Yeah.
I have a player that he's like, "Hey, coach, I know you weren't on last week, but Matt and Aldo were talking about blah." I'm like, okay,
Matt who?
right?
Me.
He's like, he works at a golf course, and so he puts those on the podcast while he's out working at the golf course. I'm like, oh, awesome.
Cool.
All right.
Get
No,
her updated.
How many people watch us on YouTube, Matt?
So the highest, like the last video me and Aldo did with the trade rumor season tag, and I did that again for this video because it had over like 600 views.
Really? That's
I
pretty
think it was
good.
like 675. Dude, the first couple videos we had 20 total views.
I know. And I thought we were holding strong at like 21 maybe.
So live viewers, like people that are actually going to tune in like right now.
From their mom's basement?
Yeah, that's like 30 or below. And we love all of you and thank you very much for watching. But people,
We're just spilling the beans here.
I think the fact that we leave this up on a YouTube channel so people can watch it at their leisure helps our view count.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
So again, if you're watching this right now, this is the pre-show stuff, and we thank you very, 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 very much because we have a lot of fun doing this. So, I'll save that for the actual show. So, although I know you're going to listen and you're going to put this out, so let's start the recording. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Go for it.
All right. 1 second. I got to get my stats up because we're a stat-oriented podcast.
All about facts.
Facts and stats, baby. Facts and stats.
Did you come up with one?
No, but
You can make shit up.
I got one for you.
Oh no, actually, I got one.
Ooh, that's what I wanted.
It's going to be fantastic, and it's not about La Pantera. All right, ready?
4.
Aldo, in 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday. It is July 12th, 2019. It's hot as hell out, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I am your host, Matt Sawatsky. They call me Southside Zoe. My guy Aldo is out doing his thing right now, so he's going to take this week off. But with me, got my guys back. Missed you guys last week. He was in sunny Florida. Now he's back home on the East Coast. What up, Matt and Nuko?
What's up? It's just as humid in New Jersey as it was in Florida, by the way. Global warming. It's a hoax.
I do not doubt that whatsoever. And he's only halfway melted, and not the good kind of melted, like melted from the heat melted. Our boy out in Vegas, Kevin Fiddler. What's up, K-Fids?
What's up, bud? Fresh out of about 9 hours in a dugout in 110-degree heat. I really do feel like the dude from the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark when they open the Ark and stare into it. Melted. Just bad.
You got it. Before we go any farther, though, so Kevin is a coach, as everybody knows. He coaches out in Vegas, his high school team, which they all now have to do a Zolap because I just brought him up. But you just played in a wooden bat game, right? A wooden bat. How many walks in that game in 110-degree heat?
24.
24 walks.
In a doubleheader.
Wait, you were playing?
Oh, no. Oh, God, no.
No.
Coaching. No. I mean, we actually split, which is crazy. But, yeah, that was –
coaching in 110-degree heat, sitting in the dugout, just watching these kids all walk.
Oh.
God bless you. So we got a good show. We just got done with the Midsummer Classic. We're going to talk a little bit about the game, the home run derby, which that shit was just straight up epic. But the main focus for this show this week is going to be second half predictions and trade rumors. Some of them we're going to make up on the show. Some of them we heard from other people, but trade rumors.
I like it. Let's make some shit up.
Yeah, and let's see what sticks. So, disclaimer before we get into the show, any trade rumor you hear on this show, if you see someone else tweet it or claim it as theirs, you need to let us know. Some of these are probably going to be really dumb, but some of them actually might hit. So this should be a fun ride. So strap it in. So with all that
sources,
yes. So all that being said, it's hot as hell. Let's tap this keg. This show is brought to you by Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. Make sure you're going to the App Store or Google Play Store. Download the app, turn on push notifications, and make sure you're showing our brother site in Vegas some love, too. They're doing good things out there. Lots of big sports coming to Vegas. So you're going to want to have those push notifications on. Also brought to you by TickBlitz, tickblitz.com, TIXBLITZ. Guaranteed tickets, awesome rates, very easy to navigate website, tickblitz.com. Make sure you're putting in code Mockery. And the TickBlitz stat of the week is 85%. Any guesses?
85%.
I'm sorry, 87.5%.
What?
87
chances that La Pantera is called up to the bigs tomorrow.
I wish, and we're going to get to that. Oh, believe you me, we're going to get to that. But 87.5% is the amount of complete bullshit that you're going to hear on the show this week. We're going to be making up some trade rumors, baby.
I feel like we need to preface all of this by saying that, and I think you kind of did.
Yeah.
It will be difficult to discern fact from fiction here.
Yeah, I mean, basically, and now we can just get into the show. We did all the
legal stuff.
But basically what we want to do this week is we just want to have fun. I mean,
just let the kids play.
Yeah,
let the kids play.
I just want to play ball. All right, Mike Trout, you just got $450 million. Shut up. Anyways.
And no bad haircut.
No mic tosses today, there, guys. No mic tosses. Respect the game.
Did you see the thing in the front of his head? That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So Mike Trout on Facebook, I don't know if people saw it. It was like a San Diego Padres. I don't know. There was something to do with San Diego Padres, but it was like All-Star Game interview. He had this little like shape up in the front. Like somebody went up and like cut his hairline. It looked terrible.
Hot razor.
But we know Mike's a fan of the show, so we're not ripping on you, Mike.
No.
We're here to help you, and you just got paid over $400 million. Go get a different barber.
It's true, man. Your hair should not look like you're in Dragon Ball Z if you are worth that much.
Very true.
Sources tell me that the White Sox are going to go straight up Ryan Cordell for Mike Trout.
Oh, see, hot start. See, we're gonna start there. We're gonna start all the way over there, and then we're gonna kind of reel that in. We're just gonna reel that in real slow. So
but he's a friend of the show, so.
Well, yeah, because he wants to be closer to us. But the name of the game today is just having fun with social media and the landscape of reporting and just all this stuff. There's rumors flying everywhere. You know, I still think we're getting Jock Peterson. So shit's going to be going all over the place. But we wanted to have fun this week. There's a lot of serious stuff going on and whatever. We get to have fun every once in a while. But let's talk about some stuff that happened for reals first. First thing is I'm sorry, I can't believe I made it this far. Luis Robert had his AAA debut tonight as we record this. He has 2 home runs, 1 being a grand slam, and 6 RBIs.
Said he had 5 RBIs in the first 3 innings, right?
Yes, in the first 3 innings. I'm sorry. Wow. I just had an ad pop up and start playing in my ear, so that distracted the hell out. But
don't you work in tech?
I do, and the stupid ad because I use Yahoo for my stats. No, his first at bat was a sacrifice fly, got an RBI. His next at bat, he hit a grand slam, and then he just hit another home run. So yeah, breaking news. Luis Robert, good. But like you said, Nuke.
Sources tell me
boxes need to be checked.
We've got boxes.
Yeah, we also have shit outfielders. Get him up now. Anyways, so that's important. Did you guys watch the home run derby?
Yeah, what's that?
I mean, I kind of got a little bored after about 49 home runs from Vlad Jr.
Is there a problem here?
It's too long. It's too much. I'm sorry. It gets. You can only go woo. Like it's like
You hit
seriously. It's
49
like 4 hours of fireworks. Sooner or later, you're like, dude, seriously. Okay, cool.
I've seen this show before.
Yeah. Same verse, same lyrics.
Holy cow! Both of you scooped the poop out of your pants. That was the most electrifying home run derby of all time, in my opinion. Well, maybe not all time, but it's up there.
That double overtime was pretty cool.
They were both just pissing on baseballs.
Well, Vlad Guerrero, how the hell did he still have the ability to whip that bat the way he was? I mean, it was violent.
That's a big
at
boy.
The end. Oh, he's a big boy, but I mean, he hit 49 homers.
Yes.
And the amount of swings and the time. Actually, Jock Peterson that's a little more impressive because he went second, right?
Right.
And so he had like no rest. At least Vlad had like 4 minutes of a break.
But I also think Jock has a way more compact swing where Vlad's throwing his whole body into it.
Oh my God, it's violent.
I'm really not a big fan of the bracket style of it. I think that's what it is. I think if you go rounds with if a dude goes out and throws, no reason Jock Peterson should have moved on to. I mean, the amount of home run, it's just a bad break. But I mean, if you're going to do it that way, let the dudes that are hitting the bombs keep going. I like the old format, but
I don't think. I mean, Zoe, what do you think? I would actually rather have the 10 hit batted balls.
Yeah,
You're not going to get as many. Well, actually, I mean, like, look at what happened.
Instead of the time limit? Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Zoe. Just answer that.
No, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like you guys said, I thoroughly enjoyed every second of it. But I'm also very simple-minded, and home runs entertain the shit out of me. But I was like, this is awesome, and like, I was just amazed at how. But yeah, I think I like to go back to the old way with the 10 outs.
Well, what if it was a hybrid? What if the first couple rounds stay that way, but the final round is 10 swings?
I can see that. That actually makes sense because all these guys keep shooting their load in the first couple rounds.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I have never seen a BP like that home run derby. I mean,
no.
Have you, Kevin? I mean, that's like every single swing. I mean, like, Alonso was taking balls out to right center.
Well, and it's not just the hitters. It's not the hitters either. It's the guys throwing it. Well, I thought, like I said, Mike Bryant almost died a couple years ago. I'm pretty sure he was like 4 pitches away from full cardiac arrest because it's exhausting for those guys too. And I mean, what's his name's dad Chapman was throwing sliders?
Yeah, he was throwing cutters. Pitching Ninja gave him the overlay treatment. It was hilarious, dude.
Yeah,
fantastic. Like, but that's rough. That's exhausting for everybody.
I see what you're saying. Like, if you look at it from a competition standpoint, Pete Alonso had such an unfair advantage going into that final. Like, that was a ridiculous advantage. The man just hit 49 home runs in a triple overtime, and he comes in and has to play a guy that had to hit 20 to get to the final.
Right.
That's that bracket stuff.
Well, I mean, I also think about the entertainment value. What is it about a home run that's so exciting? How far you can hit the ball, right?
Yes.
100%. If you're right, and this even gets to our whole, bat flip thing. It's like nobody's watching you bat flip because they're all watching the ball if you poleaxe it the way you should. Anyway, everybody's watching the ball. Meanwhile, it's like you got an umpire behind the catcher who's like holding up the pitcher to not throw the next pitch until the ball lands. But they're all breaking the rule.
Right.
Because they're just trying to fire as many pitches in as they can and get as many swings in as they can in 4 minutes. To me, I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose of it. Because, like, when Mark McGwire was in there hitting balls 700 feet, it was like everybody was in awe of, like, oh, my God. And, like, I felt that way with Vlad. He was hitting balls so damn hard. They were like golf balls. I wanted to see whether it was going to, like, break the scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And last year, too, that kind of format actually cost Kyle Schwarber his win over Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper's dad was throwing. They weren't holding up Ron Harper. Ron was choom, 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 choom. I remember I got yelled at, actually. I was at a party, and they're like, calm down, Fiddler. I'm like, no, he's not waiting. He's not waiting. Because
You're a rule follower.
Shoom, shoom. And Bryce, they didn't have to wait. But Schwarber, they're like, hold up. And I know that they wanted Bryce to win it in Washington, blah, blah, blah. But in the end, they basically enforce the rules sometimes. You know, Chris, I remember when Chris was numbered, they held Mike up, and he was like 1 homer short or something. Like
That's pretty much me as a parent. I enforce the rules sometimes.
Go ahead and use the fork on the outlet. You're good.
So, what do you got to say about it?
I was going to say, so I was watching the first round, and then I go on Twitter like I do when I watch TV because I have the attention span of a squirrel now. And somebody tweeted out that Jason Benetti from the White Sox broadcast was doing the home run derby on ESPN2, and it was the StatCast version. So I switched over to ESPN2, and they were telling you how far every home run was. But Vladdy's hitting piss missiles like we've never seen before. I want to watch that. You know, and so he would just crank it. They would show the ball flight and then go right back to him. And it's like, no, I want to see how far that just went. That was cool. So, yes, I think that 10 out would – and I also think that they need to think of a better system than – if you hit 2 home runs over 430, you get 30 extra seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Homeboy player hitting 500-foot bombs. He needs to get bonus points.
Yeah. You know, I really do feel like we should be having a Coldplay song playing over this because, again, with baseball, we are fixing baseball.
We're fixing it.
Fix you. You know who doesn't watch home run derbies, though? I learned this on Monday. Major league pitchers don't watch home run derby. I was at Jason Shreve's house, who's Cardinals reliever, having a barbecue, and it was on TV. I'm like, are you watching this? And he's like, why would I want to watch guys doing what I'm trying to keep them from doing? I'm like, that's a good point. In fact, he would open the back door. He's playing with the dogs. He wanted nothing to do with watching those dudes because he's like, he's like PTSD. You're like, whoa, no.
That's his break. This is his weekend.
Hey, don't talk shop, please. I'm on vacation.
Real quick, because you were sitting on it, your boy got called up, didn't he?
He did. He got called up. They announced it this morning. They told him a couple of days ago. They sent him home for a little bit of a got his All-Star break, and he's going to be up with the Cardinals. I'm not sure if he's going to stick or if they're just going to trade him. He will not clear waivers this time. And I honestly, I mean, maybe I'm a homer, maybe I'm daddy ball here, but he's a left-handed reliever that gets right-handers out at a ridiculous clip. He is a National League ready reliever that if the Cubs are looking for a reliever, too bad the Cardinals won't trade into your division. But he's a perfect kind of guy for a Cubs. He's a Travis Wood. That's the only guy I can compare him to because I'm sorry. I love KB to death. There are 2 players I've coached in my lifetime that run the bases well. KB was one of them. Shreve was the other.
Really?
And yes, he's fantastic. If he wasn't pitching, he'd be probably playing double or triple A right now as a center fielder.
Oh, shit.
Fantastic. And so, it's cool to see. Unfortunately, on a flip side, he's owned KB over his career since KB was a freshman. And there's a guy that actually could hurt KB in a big moment in a Cardinals series, which is a little bit.
No, he shouldn't throw at him. That's ridiculous.
Oh, no, he'll just get him out. That's the worst.
Stupid unwritten rules. I mean,
stupid. And
how do these things linger from high school? I mean,
so Pete Alonso gets the home run derby, gets the truck. His cousin pitched to him. It was a cool story. I like Pete Alonso. I like him as a player. I think he's a good player. I think it's good for the game. I like the whole polar bear nickname, and he had those dope ass cleats with the polar bears on them. That was pretty cool.
So I don't want to cut you off, but one more thing about making baseball fun. They mic'd up the players during the All-Star game.
Great. Cameras. Remember we talked about cameras?
Did I jump ahead here?
No, I was about to just get into the game, so you just segued it perfectly. But yes, I thought the miking up of the players was fucking fantastic.
I thought it was great too.
Microcams in their jerseys.
They had them on the base coaches' helmets. Did you see that? They had like the cameras like taped down to the top of their helmets. So they're getting there, Kev. They're getting there.
I mean, so a few things. Love the mic'd up stuff. I was talking to my buddy watching. He's a college coach, and he liked it. Pete Alonso was mic'd up at one point, and I read it as he was whatever. Well, I won't even go there. It's just my opinion. It doesn't really matter.
Are you about to get poopy pants?
I was a little bit. No, he was contradicting himself in a arrogant way, and it wasn't coming out right. Whatever. But Lindor was great.
The Astros were great. Freddie Freeman was great.
But I mean, like, if we want to make the game fun on a daily basis, because we got 162 games, mic a few guys up, during it. And also, why haven't we put cameras on either the umpire's mask or the catcher's mask?
I think they do.
They did for a while, didn't with the catcher's mask?
But they would only go in like every now and then.
Yeah, it was like a GoPro.
Like you want to see what 98 looks like. You want to see what 101 looks like. You want to see what like a hard curveball.
I wish you could hear what a 98 mile an hour fastball sounds like. That when we get to that tech, when we get microphones that good, when you hear that, it's like when someone gets shot. You see someone fall down and then you hear the sound. It's completely cool.
So, another one I like the Bellinger. What's the dude's name from the Brewers? Yelich back and forth.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
The Verlander
the commercial?
The stuff when Verlander was pitching too. I mean, could you imagine trying to face a guy like Justin Verlander, who is, I think he sweats piss and vinegar, trying to listen in one ear and actually do anything.
That's the thing I wanted to make clear. Now, Nuke, you keep saying mic up players. We're talking about just micing them up, not interviewing them like they were doing in the All-Star game. Just putting a mic on them.
Taking the earplug out, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can do that, but also, like, I mean, I know that the technology has advanced to a way where, like, it's not going to bother you as a player.
No, it's
it's not going to be a nuisance. But we said earlier this year, don't go to commercials. Yep. Stay with the game. That'll force the live game to accelerate a little bit, because you're no longer like walking off the field, taking your time, getting all the ads in and all that. Players are in and out there, and you can do interviews during warm-ups. Yeah. Why not? I mean, infielders, outfielders,
These guys talk about creating brands for themselves. That's how you do it, by getting your personality out there. Bregman from the Astros is leading that charge. Homeboy's got a clothing line, a YouTube channel, like all this crap. He's getting ready to go. He's trying to blow it up. But overall, All-Star game was all right. Nothing crazy. McCann had a nice hit. Giolito struck out Bellinger on a sick curve or changeup.
Did you guys see the one? It was the inning where Lindor was being interviewed. I think pitcher from the Oakland.
Oh yeah.
Did you see him like stutter? Like his foot got caught and he spiked like an 80-mile-an-hour fastball. Oh. And then the next pitch went like 6 feet above the umpire. Lindor was joking. He's like, "You okay?" And I was nervous. I was like, "Oh my God, what's coming next?"
Oh jeez.
That's the one hard part.
McCann was catching.
Miking kids up, they are going to drop some F-bombs. You've got that delay, though. You got your 3-second delay. I mean, if you can survive a Harry Carey broadcast 12 beers deep,
right?
Some of the blatant, some occasional racism that would come out of Harry, I mean, you could kind of really do it with baseball, too. I mean, it's fun.
I think it would be good.
What those guys say on the field, people don't realize there's a little bit of shit talking, sure, but there's some fun banter, too. The banter in the dugout and the banter back and forth between a guy – when it makes a guy maybe breaks up a double play, hey man, good. Sometimes you don't realize that the players don't care as much as the fans do. A guy breaks up a double play, you might hear a guy go, "Hey, nice job, that's a nice break." Like you're not going to hear a guy always puffing up and clouting up and trying to fight somebody. Some guys respect like when a guy does something right. Fans might not realize that that's something that's respected by the players, and they're like, "Hey, that was a good job." Like they might just only see contact.
But it's also learning the game, too, and watching it in a different way, right? I mean, like Lindor was the perfect example where in the middle of the interview, I mean, he's sitting there talking to the guys in the booth that whole half of the inning, but he's also talking to Chapman at third, giving him signs, alerting him when an off-speed pitch is coming and when he might roll over on something. I think
you, me.
I think, Alonso struck out. Yeah, Alonso struck out, but right before the pitch was thrown, Lindor, shoots over to Chapman. Hey, the pitch, it's probably coming this way, and that's stuff that like the fans don't see. So I don't need interviews necessarily. I mean, I think that'll be cool, but I want to know like the candid stuff, because like who's covering first or who's covering second on a double play? What are we doing on a bunt situation? Hey, we're shifting over to the into the hole. Come with me, stay there. I'm coming over. That's mine. He even told Chapman, I think he called him Chappie or whatever. He's like, hey, you cut in as far as you want.
Yeah. It's stuff. And
to help people learn the game.
I have a question for you guys. Would you pay like a subscription? I feel like I would, but would you pay a subscription for a raw, like something like that that's raw, like uncut, unedited?
Like a pay-per-view kind of thing.
Yeah, that's like a TV mature, like we don't know what they're gonna say, but like we're not gonna censor anything. We're gonna let it rip. Would you pay for a subscription service like that allowed you to like hear it as is on the field?
See, I wouldn't, because I watch the game like I'm in the game anyway. Like I have a good idea what's happening behind the scenes anyway.
Right. But I would probably do it just because I don't. And I think it'd be awesome. I can see where that can go really wrong. Really fast.
Really wrong.
But
like, I don't think the players would ever consent to that.
Yeah.
I think it would be so bad for them, because someone says an off-color comment.
And
you hear it, locker room talk.
People get their feelings hurt very easily these days.
Well, you would have heard exactly what Tim Anderson said.
Yeah.
When he got chucked.
Exactly. So there's an N-bomb right there. You know what I mean? Like that'd be tough. But I guess you would know going into it, you're signing up for something uncensored, unfiltered.
I just think it would hurt Anderson's reputation or another player's reputation.
A lot of guys' reputation would probably be pretty hurt by that.
Do you think you would ask the players to show actual restraint?
No, like from when I played, there wasn't. I really can't even think of any time where it was like, wow, I can't believe you just said that. Whether it's chatting around the field. Usually it's pretty innocuous and boring stuff. It's just like mundane. It's like, I remember trying to talk to a guy, a first baseman once, like first few weeks I was at my assignment, and he was like a total dud. It was just like, he was in the Cardinals organization. He's like he played in Nebraska.
You mean a Cardinal was boring?
I was like, yo, I heard Johnson City's a lot of fun. What do you guys do? He's like, Now, on the other hand, I played against Tyler Flowers that summer when he was with Atlanta, and man, he was a chatty Cathy. He didn't shut up. He had like 17 doubles against us, and every time he got to second base, it was like we were picking up our conversation again. He was talking about nothing. He was on his way back after getting caught with steroids.
Fair enough. So the All-Star game, like I said, it is what it was. The Cubs went 0 for the game. McCann had a base hit. Gio, like I said, he struck out Bellinger with a pretty sick changeup, and then he got some ground balls. Abreu didn't do anything. All in all, whatever. It was fun.
The All-Star game is the All-Star game.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm glad it's not worth anything for for seating or for.
Right.
I'm glad they did away with that. It made it fun again. It made it again. It's flood the bench. Have some fun.
It is pretty cool if you watch it in a way where it's like, wow, every single inning there's a really serious player coming up, whether it's batting, pitching, something, especially pitchers.
What do you guys think of the game MVP? Do you really think a dude that struck out the side should get it over a guy that got the save and struck out the side, or maybe the guy that hit the hardest home run ball ever hit in the history of the game, like a Joey Gallo?
I think that the city of Cleveland, when anything goes to a fan vote, they will dominate. They got Peyton Hillis on the cover of a Madden game. They will do whatever it has to happen to win their fan vote. The game was in Cleveland. It's a Cleveland pitcher. That fan vote, no one had a chance.
We could debate this. Do we agree that a fan vote is the way to go for the All-Star game?
And also, I don't give a shit. If it makes people feel happy, go for it.
Zoe, did you vote?
No, I don't care.
Me neither. Kevin, did you vote?
Like 50 times.
I
actually even voted under a fake name, New Master 69.
Sources tell me that Kevin has 27 Twitter handles and 30 new Gmail accounts.
I'm not gonna lie though.
New Master 69.
If McCann started and went 4 for 4 with 2 home runs, I'd probably vote.
Vote.
I think I actually did it while on the podcast. Actually, at one point.
Oh no, we're talking about voting for the MVP.
No. I was talking about in general.
Well, I voted, yeah.
Oh,
They made it so
you
easy.
did?
Yeah, they made it so easy.
Yeah, you could do
So-
all your votes at once.
I just didn't. Maybe because I see, and I might be crushing somebody's reputation here, but I remember being in the locker room, and club officials were just sitting at the computer, refresh vote for AJ Pierzynski. And literally they were going around whipping votes for AJ. Make sure you vote. Make sure you vote for AJ. Make sure you vote for AJ. Here's my computer, vote. And it was just like refresh vote. I'm like,
They did that at the ballparks back in the day with those little punch cards, though, too, man. You'd roll into the ballpark. Here, punch this.
Yeah,
well, right.
A lot of trash, though, too.
But I mean, like, I guess my just big question. I know we're spending a lot of time on this. I'm going off on tangents.
I want to move on here.
But I'm just curious because I don't like it. I don't think fans should get to vote.
I don't really think it carries that much weight either. I don't know. I feel like you could vote till your fingers fall off, and MLB's going to put in who they want to put in.
Do you think so, though?
There's no real way to tell what those numbers are. So
there's no independent,
Major League Baseball, you're welcome.
When you try your best, but you don't.
You're welcome, baseball.
You're welcome. We fixed you.
So let's get into second half predictions and our sources. So
Here we go. All right.
for second half predictions,
Let's take it seriously here.
Yeah, let's get back to the serious business.
Well, the predictions will give your honest answer, and we'll try to keep this somewhat quickly. Now, I don't remember who you guys predicted for your World Series. I know I think I had Houston, Milwaukee. Still feel pretty good about Houston. Don't feel that great about Milwaukee. I still think the Twins are going to win the AL Central, even though Cleveland made a run.
They're only 5.5 back still.
Right. And the Sox aren't going to make the wild card. Just throw that out there.
I think they're 7.5 back. But no, I agree. The AL West is insane.
Yes.
Insane.
So, I don't know. We'll just go with, for the second half predictions, who's your favorite, to win it all? And I don't know, maybe give two players that you really are going to keep an eye on for the second half of the season. Start with you, Kev.
Well, I honestly, I know everyone's glamour picking the Dodgers, but I really do think that the team that kind of runs away with things generally is the team that gets stung because they're playing meaningless baseball in September. I'm a homer. I do believe the Cubs are going to play their best baseball in the second half based on, thank you, Netflix, for the new Netflix special that they had on there that's recently released about the law of large sample size or the law of large numbers or whatever. But the Cubs have played considerably lower than the numbers say they should play over the last couple seasons. And so I think they're going to finish strong. I think the Braves are a real good, have a really good shot to kind of make it and kind of roll through a little bit too. But in the National League or in the American League, excuse me, I got to go Houston. I think Houston's, again, what they do, their experience, again, they got a guy that can go out there and shut the door every fifth start. And they got a guy that, again, in the postseason is an absolute giant on the bump. Yeah, Verlander, you roll in feeling like you're 6 inches taller and your junk's 5 feet heavier or 5 pounds heavier. It's a confidence boost right there. So I mean, if I'm going to pick, and I think this is what I picked at the beginning of the year, I don't recall what I picked, but I do think Cubs or Braves. But I'm going to go Cubs just because I'm a homer, and the Astros.
Okay, and
Astros?
What are you really? Give me two guys that you're keeping an eye on in the second half of the season. Don't have to be Cubs; they can be anybody. They can both be Cubs, but
I think we got to look at Freddie Freeman. I think the dude's playing great baseball. I think that he might have a better second half. You look at the guys that are actually, physically holding up too. I think that Freeman's a good one. And then I think when you look at Bellinger, it's exciting to watch that kid play. I forget how young the dude is.
Yep.
The guy is young, and he's having a magical season. I think I had said he's probably going to finish around 350, 340. That's fantastic in a day and age of lift, launch angle, and lift, and strikeouts, and contact being less important. a guy hitting 340 in this day and age is probably 20 years ago, like hitting 370. And so, and again, with how everything's set up, juice balls or not, that's a contact thing. And I think that kid he impresses me every time I watch him. I don't know how many walk-offs the dude has this year too. He's got a clutch gene. And so
that was pretty funny at the All-Star game when they asked him about the juice balls, and he's like, "No, I think they're good." That was awesome. They're like, "Oh, yeah, we talked to Justin Verlander, and he talked about the juice balls. What do you think about the juice balls?" He's like, "I think they're good. I think the balls are fine."
Yeah, Scherzer should shut his mouth though.
Stay healthy.
Well, no, Scherzer basically kind of mocked Verlander.
Well, he can't keep his mouth shut.
Play a full season, stay healthy before you start talking to the big dogs. Go to the kids' table, big guy. I know you throw hard, but that's Verlander's the king.
All right, Nuke, give me your updated World Series pick and 2 players you're watching in the second half.
Well,
he's thinking. I see the wheels turning over there.
Geez, the NL Central is terrible. They're terrible. Cubs are in first place at 47 and 43. That's insane.
You guys remember that fight sequence on South Park between Timmy and Jimmy? Yep. That's the NL Central.
Come here.
I just don't see in the National League. I don't see anybody beating the Dodgers. I know that they're 13 and a half games ahead of Arizona. The Braves are, second best team. The NL East could be a real exciting division to watch because the Phillies, imploded the past month. They imploded last year when they could have won the division. The Nationals still got that pitching staff. The Braves are playing really well. The Cubs, come on. I mean, they're like a dumpster fire one week and then they're like all world the next. Just got to get some consistency. But I agree. I think they win their division. I'm just not sure that they're stable enough to beat the Dodgers. So I'm going to go Dodgers. And then in the AL, I'm going to go wild card pick here.
Ooh, wild card.
The Athletics sneak in. And they beat the Astros and they go World Series.
Oh, say it like you mean it, Nuke.
Do we all have a Samesies moment? Samesies moment.
If you're going to go out on a limb like that, you got to say it like you mean it.
Uncle's got a World Series. He's going to beat the Astros.
The World Series is Oakland, Los Angeles, and the rest of the country can just fuck right off because it's all California.
Damn liberals in California.
Bunch of weed smokers.
Him and Steve Kerr.
I think they signed Yonder Alonso, by the way, who got cast out in the ocean. They reeled him back in, Zoe.
No. They did?
Yonder posted something today on his Instagram that was all him and A's in.
That's a hot take, Horn.
in the A's in an A's uniform, but the caption was like #Rockies. I'm like,
he may be coming to Vegas if he signed with the A's. That'll be fun.
So, all right, give me 2 players, Nuke.
Players to watch?
Yep.
I'm watching the White Sox.
White Sox?
And I'm going to go Homer here because they're interesting, and it'll be a good segue. We're all about transitions. So, 2 guys I'm watching. One I'm watching Cease. I want to see him settle down a little bit.
Starting on Tuesday night.
Yep. And I want to see Moncada continue what he's done on the first half.
I think Moncada's he's trying not to let it show, but it's starting to leak out in these interviews. He is pissed. He is not an all-star.
Well, I agree.
I feel like the second half of the season is going to be I know we got pissed off Chris Bryant on one end of town. I think we got pissed off Yo-Yo now, and I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it.
I love what Moncada has done. This is what he's supposed to be.
Yes.
That's why, everybody last year, trade him. He's a bust. give me a break. I actually had Zoe.
That one slipped.
People are starting to all the Moncada fan train. All the people that were probably dissing him last year and wanted to trade him. We're all digging through old tweets and trying to pick stuff out.
Oh, they sure were. There was people that
they tried to grab one from me, and I was like, buddy, you don't get satire. Sources, you don't understand sarcasm.
Google or search on Twitter for Buscata.
Oh, jeez, really?
That was a hashtag going on around White Sox Twitter not too long ago before Yohan was hitting 308 with 16 bombs and 48 home RBIs at the All-Star break. So, all right, well, I just want to make sure no one forgets that Nuke picked Oakland and the Dodgers for the World Series. Just want to make sure no one forgets that. That's very important to this podcast.
Wait. Somebody's got to check the Vegas odds while we're on the show.
I got you.
All right, well, our Vegas correspondent will check it.
Sources.
Right. So, yeah, I got a guy. That's what we're calling that segment. I got a guy. So while Vegas looks that up, my World Series has completely changed from the beginning of the season. My World Series is the Minnesota Twins versus the Atlanta Braves.
I think that's not a terrible choice. That's probably a mild odds choice, probably better odds, better than Oakland.
Just set a Major League Base. No one even know, like, unless you're a big baseball fan, people don't realize this. I was talking to guys today who are advocate sports fans, and they had no idea that the Minnesota Twins just set a Major League record for most home runs by a team before the All-Star break. Like, these dudes are straight raking. And
they're pitching, too.
They got great pitchers, young pitchers that are figuring their shit out, a good bullpen. They have a very, very diverse team, mix of power, speed, contact guys, dudes that can lay a bunt down for you weirdos that like that. I mean, they got good fielding. I hate to say this.
They're a well-rounded, complete team.
Yeah, they're the Piranhas. They're the Twins. We're flying right now. 56 and 33 at the All-Star break.
Well, this could be. So what stands in their way, really?
Nothing. In the AL Central.
No, Cleveland right now sneaks in. If the season ended today, Cleveland sneaks in with the second wild card.
Right, and that's bullshit in my opinion. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. But
right.
Good.
No, I like Minnesota. I wonder, do they cave under the pressure a little bit in the postseason?
They're very.
I think that's what you worry about, especially if you got to, match up against like Houston or the Yankees or something like that.
Or the powerhouse Oakland Athletics.
It's true. Who, by the way,
watch out for Oakland. Sneak in.
They are 35-1 to win the World Series.
That's not the worst.
No, it's not terrible. Now, we had the Astros, right? So Astros are 4-1. You had Dodgers. Dodgers, according to Station Casinos here in Las Vegas, are sitting at 3-1. Cubs 10-1. And then we had Braves are at 10-1. And is that all? White Sox? 150-1.
What were the Twins?
Twinkies are 5-1. They actually have better. They have like looks like to me like I think the third or fourth best odds. Yeah, fourth best odds behind Dodgers, Yankees, Astros, and then it looks like them.
Okay, okay, but these have been revised since the beginning of the year.
Live odds,
live odds, right?
Like if you wanted to bet right now,
I would like to know that. What were the Twins' odds on April 1st?
Oh, I don't know, but I do know that I predicted them to win the AL Central in our preseason predictions.
That was a tough call.
Yep. But
here you go.
I picked the Braves, one, because I bought this hat. And two, because I really like the young core they got there.
That is a nice boulder.
That's a nice boulder.
Boston 6-1, Boston 6-1, Dodgers 7-1, Philly 17-2, so basically whatever that is. Cubs 11-1. Twinkies were 45-1. That's a good. And you know what? I know a guy that throws $1,000 every season on the Twins to win the World Series. So obviously, twice when they've won it, he's made all the money that he's bet over the years. He's a ads. He goes $1,000 every year. So 91 was it? What a year now? When did they win? What was the other World Series? Or was that just it?
I think
Yeah. It's when Kirby Puckett was alive.
Yeah, 91. Yeah. So there it is.
Interesting.
That's $45,000.
Yep. But again, to wrap it up for the Braves, the pickup to Dallas Keuchel was huge. He'll figure it out. They got a good staff, young players, good young players. And I really think the Dodgers are going to Dodger when it comes to the playoffs. And Kershaw is going to disappear like he always does. And I don't know. I like the Braves this year. So my two players to watch, I was definitely going to say Yohan Moncada, but you already covered him. My White Sox guy, though, is my nephew, Eloy.
Ooh.
They straight up interviewed him, and he's just like the first half of the season was just figuring it out, living this life, adapting to this life. He's like, second half of the season is going to be way better. You guys have seen nothing yet.
Is that according to sources or your?
No, that's him. That's a quote from him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said, like, you guys have seen nothing yet. Like, I'm ready to go. Second half is going to be exciting. It's a loose translation, but you get the gist.
But when you called him, did you say, "What's up, nephew"?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. That's how we talk. I taught him
in your Snoop Dogg voice.
No, we talk normal, and I taught him.
Little nephew.
I taught him those dance moves in the dugout.
Oh, are you sure? Is that not your burner account? The Eloy dancing, flossing.
No, it's not my burner account, but I do love that account.
Sources, according to sources, Zoe's burner account is Eloy's dance moves at Eloy's dance moves.
At Eloy's dance moves. Not me though. That's not me.
Strong.
I trust my sources. I stand by them.
My second guy,
Samson Simpson. I stand by my story.
I want to say Lucas Giolito, just to see if he can keep.
That's a good one.
Unless he's pitching against the Cubs.
Oh, jeez.
It's so weird too, isn't it?
But I'm interested to see just if he can keep. Guy's pitching great. He's just pitching fantastic. And I don't know, did we mention that Luis Robert hit a grand slam and a home run tonight in his AAA debut?
He's probably mentioned it again, at least twice more.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I was just making sure. Just want to make sure. 110 mile an hour exit rate. Oh yeah. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, those are my guys. I mean, if anything, the White Sox have created an aura of like excitement. People are like jacked to watch this team in the second half. It makes it more fun for me. Like, because White Sox Twitter is way more active. People want to like engage. There's a lot more stupid out there now too, though. But it comes with the good and the bad. They put up the netting. They got done with that yesterday, all around the field. Some of the responses to that.
Oh my God! Ridiculous.
Well, I'm not going anymore. Good, dude. Give me your.
Don't go. Yeah,
that's fine. If a net is bothering you.
One nitwit replied to us and said, like, great, so 3 more people won't get hit with a baseball. It's like, seriously? Do you watch baseball this year? People are going to the hospital once a week.
Yeah, and it's just it's not going to take away from my experience.
Not obstructive.
If anything, I mean, it's not like I sit there like with anxiety, worried the whole time. But like now, you can really just sit there and be like,
zone out.
Yeah, it's not going to hit me. So because like when I take the wife, she always makes sure that I sit between her and home plate because she's always very nervous that she's going to get hit with a foul ball. And so I don't know. It just maybe it makes it a little bit more enjoyable for some people. I don't know.
No, but that makes sense now. I mean, because, most people have their cellular device and they're all sitting there on their phone. I mean, like I'm even guilty of it now.
Right.
Where 15, 20 years ago, it wasn't that way and everybody would pay attention a little better,
Hey, now you can pay less attention and not get one right in the forehead. So
exactly.
No,
you'll for us with ADHD. God, yes.
You'll just get the mile-high pop-up and falls on your head.
That one's your fault now at that point.
Yeah. No,
but I'm 35 years old and I want a baseball. Well, dude, there's a go to Play It Again Sports. You can buy a fucking used baseball for
eBay.
It's great.
Yeah.
eBay.
But it's not official game used. Give me it. I'll go hit it against the wall a couple times. Game used. Boom.
There's some clay on it. Here we go. There you go.
I love your street sense, so.
What do you mean?
You're just very, sidewalk businessman.
So I got
squeeze water from a rock. You must be a salesman.
That's why I got all
entrepreneurship.
sweet, sweet luxury all around me, baby. my mouth and my street savviness.
It's like straight out of a Bronx Tale to me.
Yeah.
It's like, you're one of the characters. It's like, hey, you want a game used ball? You bring the ball to me. I hit it, smack it around a little bit. I'll give it to you. There's game used ball right there. You want me to sign it for you? You want me to sign it for you, son? All right, Colosimo, bring it over here. Sonny, sign it for you. Give the kid the ball.
Hey,
Give
Tony
the kid the ball.
Tony Two Teeth, come here. Spit that dip on here. Spit that dip. Look at that. There's dip on it now. There you go, Redman. That's
Rub it on the handle a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it's the good stuff.
It's like Ted Williams. It's like Ted Williams and his bottle cap.
Hey, somebody go rub it off Timmy's head. His head's in a vice. Hey, that's from his sock. Oh. I swear it's not.
Where did this show come from?
I don't know, but I love it because now that's actually a great segue into our next segment that we now are calling "Hey, I Got a Guy." So, before you say your trade rumor, you have to start it out with "Hey, I got a guy." Kevin, I know you have Post-it notes.
I do have Post-it notes.
So why don't you start it out? Tell us what your guy told you.
My guy, Collagenal. He's
Sonny speaks with tree fingers.
I'm afraid to even say anything because I was just digging around yesterday with that little, obviously Cubs would like to get rid of Addison Russell and eight hit Descalso. And so I took a little heat yesterday just screwing around or whatever because we were talking about faking trade rumors or whatever. But literally you're going to have to flush that goldfish down the toilet. But what I can see, if you want to talk about my guy tells me that the Cubs, because they've stocked up on catching prospects and they have Victor Caratini, who is a fantastic defensive catcher, my sources tell me that the Cubs are going to trade Wilson Contreras, who has 2 years of arbitration left on his deal, to the Kansas City Royals for Whit Merrifield, whose contract is a pretty team-friendly, so that the Cubs can add a guy for the leadoff spot that gets on base and is a quality leadoff guy for a catcher that can hit but isn't the best defensive catcher on the Cubs roster. That's what they told me. They told me that. They said, do that, and then, of course, they gave me the little brown envelope and I walked away, so we're good.
Sources. I got a guy. All right. Zoe, are you up next or you want me to go?
Wow.
That's a new sound effect.
Wow.
I got a quick one.
We need to have the soundboard pulled up and ready.
I got a quick one, though. I got a guy who tells me that the White Sox are listening to offers for Colome, the closer. Colome. You know who I was
The guy
talking
that's going to tell you how to say his name. You got a guy for that?
I got a guy who tells me
That's how my guy talks.
Colome.
He got hit in the head by a bat when he was 6 years old. He talks a little funny. Why you got to make fun of him? That's fucked up. Anyways, he told me that the White Sox are actively shopping their closer, and they got a lot of suitors, and they told everyone to save the packages. All they want in return for him is, they said, border top 100 prospect.
You got a guy.
Got a guy.
Who's your guy there in Philly?
So my guy, I got a guy.
It's the best segment ever.
I can't even stab me with a spoon.
The pen. It's a pen if you got a guy.
Let's see. I got a guy. I got a guy that tells me White Sox are going to trade. They're going to trade Tim Anderson.
What?
Oh.
You guys are crazy.
because Moncada can play short. Madrigal will come in and he'll play second. And this is terrible. I've got nothing.
He's got
Is your guy a friend of ours or a friend of theirs? What's the deal here?
I got a guy that doesn't tell me good things. It's terrible. Doesn't tell me anything. He makes up a bunch of shit, and I got to listen to it. That's the guy in my head. Oh God, it's terrible.
Hey, our same guy.
Seriously, stab me with a spoon. That is a total boo.
I just got a text from my guy, by the way. Said the Cubs are going to trade Daniel Descalso and Alzolay for Nationals reliever Sean Doolittle, lefty. That's my guy.
Doolittle can't go anywhere yet because I won his tickets to a game, and he can't go yet because he has to stay in the NL East. Seriously, I'm supposed to get it anyway.
Seriously, no, I'm being 100%.
No, he seriously can't be traded yet. Otherwise, my buddy that I'm supposed to text that I won these tickets at a golf outing, he's going to be like, yeah, they're not there anymore because Doolittle is gone.
That's actually a distinct possibility, though. Cubs have been looking at Doolittle a little bit. They've been kicking the tires. So that is that guy.
And Doolittle's a guy that I think the Nationals would part with. But they're in second place right now, so they got to be careful about how much they sell too quickly.
So he's got a $6 million contract this year, a $6.5 million.
But here's my real I got a guy. I got a guy. I got a guy that tells me the White Sox aren't making one deal. They're not trading anybody.
I think that's fair. And people are pissed. Like that guy came at me on Twitter. He's like, "Oh, they can't stand put." I go, "Who are they gonna sell, dude?"
Yeah,
like literally,
it's not worth it.
Stay the course. Stay the course, like we talked about this year, right?
Yeah. Stay 100% stay the course. You got guy Luis Robert hitting bombs. Madrigal's playing fantastic. You got other guys coming up from the system. You finally got Cease up here. You're getting Tim Anderson back from injury.
You drafted the next Peter Alonso with Vaughn.
Fucking raking and low A right now. It looks like a joke. It's like batting practice for him.
Love him. I love them.
I got a guy that tells me Vaughn's only played 2 games.
Yeah, well, Mike.
I got a guy that tells me that Vaughn doesn't even
redeemed yourself, Nuke. You redeemed yourself. That's good, though. You redeemed yourself. I honestly think that Vaughn finishes this year in Double-A.
If he keeps going this way, I don't see it. No, you're right.
He's an adult. He's a 20.
He's a big kid.
22, 21.
He's a big boy.
He was a junior, right?
Yeah, he's a junior. So he's 21, 22.
21 probably.
Every time you post something, Zoe, I'm excited because I'm probably of all the guys on the White Sox, top to bottom, I love the dude. I've been a big fan of his. He swings it. I mean, that was the guy that I told you that if the White Sox passed on him, burn the whole house down. Like that's he was my top guy in the draft, period. And all the other guys, there's some young prospects. The dude goes up there and swings it. It's a baller.
I mean, I could see, and this is like a sidebar that my guy told me about. I could see that Beef could be traded if somebody wants him when he comes back.
Okay,
and also,
that makes sense. That's a move that makes sense to me.
But only to give Collins, if you want him to play catcher, which I don't want him to play catcher, to get him time. It's so strange to me that they brought up Collins and he's not getting at bats. I know he's like 1 for 40 or whatever, but give him some consistent at bats.
Sample size. Zoe, you and I talked about this before we went live too. The success of Vaughn, all of a sudden you've got Abreu going out there and saying all the things about how much he loves being a White Sox. He loves being, he's saying all these things because the way that Vaughn's going, it makes Abreu 100% trade bait. Now he can come back and sign if he wants next year. That's fine because I think Vaughn might need another year. But Vaughn is making Abreu feel like he is an old guard thing because he's not the first baseman of the future. He really isn't. There is a freak show on his way, and Abreu needs to put up, shut up, or go.
But it's also, I mean, like there is the other half of that, the other side of that where. I mean, like even people, I know, Zoe, you may disagree with me on this one, but Yolmer Sanchez, like there were people calling to trade Yolmer Sanchez for virtually anything in the minor leagues or like, a lottery guy, like a high ceiling, low floor guy. And I'm just like, yeah, but Yolmer Sanchez is a decent Major League Baseball player and you might get some guy who flames out in high A. So Vaughn, he looks great. He's a first rounder. He's supposed to have all the trimmings and trappings and abilities of a serious player. But let's be honest, if you're building a team right now or in the next 3 years, are you taking Jose Abreu or Vaughn?
I take Vaughn.
I'm taking Abreu.
It's
like Pete Alonso might not be the same player the second half of the season this year.
Right, and Jose Abreu's done it every year, year in and year out.
Year in and year out, right.
You know what you're getting. He's an all-star this year. I mean, and first base is a loaded position in both leagues. So
Kevin, would you take Chris Bryant or would you take Yoan Moncada?
Well, I am completely biased. You can't even ask that question.
No, but I mean, ask yourself. I mean, like, would you take the 6 years of KB, or do you take the 1 year in the promise of Yoan Moncada?
Do I want a guy that gets on base 4 out of 10 times every time he walks to the plate? I want the guy that gets on base 4 out of 10 times. That would be Chris Bryant.
Yeah, Yoan Moncada, 3 out of 10.
Yep, they're a big difference. And honestly, that's where the Cubs are actually effing up right now. I love that Chris was moved to the 3rd spot right now, but honestly, if they're having a hard time getting guys on base, I mean, Kyle Schwarber's got a 320 freaking on base percentage. Chris is getting on at 403 right now, and they've got him in the 3-hole, which is better than the 2-hole. I'm happy he went in the 3-hole. But if you want to fix and not make a trade, and you want to fix the Cubs, a guy that runs the base is fantastic, and a guy that gets on base 4 out of 10 times, you throw Chris in the leadoff spot. Happened his senior year. We threw him out there, and guess what? Optimizes his bats. He's going to have more plate appearances than anybody else in the squad. And guess what? That's a lot more opportunity to drive in runs. That's why I would take him over Moncada. That's
the way that Uncle Joe moves that lineup around. I wouldn't be surprised if you see that at some point.
Better there than Rizzo.
Can we talk about Uncle Joe's?
No, Uncle Joe's on his way out. We all know it. Act accordingly.
Very good reference.
The other Uncle Joe's on his way in.
Yeah,
I'd prefer cousin Ryan myself, but whatever.
Ryan did not do well in Philly.
No,
which is a very different city, but he did not do well.
So my biggest thing,
Uncle Greg in the bullpen.
The White Sox need a starting pitcher or two, and a right fielder. They can give me those things between now and opening day next year. I'll be very, very happy.
Yeah,
they've done good, man. The White Sox have had a great. This is the progress that we were talking about at the beginning of the year that you wanted to see, right?
Absolutely. Oh, I'm not mad.
You're actually wondering if they should be buyers or sellers at the All-Star break. Last year, they were on pace to lose 100 and some odd games.
Which they did.
There's actually a question of if they finish July well, are they going to buy? If they go out there and they finish, I mean, they're a couple games under 500. You got about 13 games left. If they go out there and they go 9-4, this changes the whole discussion. And again, I mean, they can't play they can't play the Royals every day, but
I think they have a much easier schedule the second half, though. I believe
they do,
right?
But
a lot of division games.
They have the 3rd worst pitching staff in baseball, and Adam Engel or Charlie Tilson plays right field for them.
Well, not Adam Engel anymore. It's Ryan Cordell.
I'm sorry, Ryan Cordell or Charlie Tilson.
Right. Oh, of course. I mean, there are holes. Those are holes.
Yep.
And I would say one pitcher. The White Sox are not sellers. I think they stand pat at the trade deadline. Yes. If an incredible deal pops up, I think they could be buyers. But I think they got to be buyers with someone with long-term control, or at least 5 years of control.
It has to be worth your while. If you're gonna give up, again, their farm system is fantastic. If you're gonna give up somebody that's gonna be a cheap buy for somebody else, you got to make sure that you're gonna get somewhat cheap. I mean, you don't want to say cheap. I would say cheap sounds bad. Inexpensive would be better. A guy that has value. Yeah. And if something rolls up and you're going to get a guy that you can almost guarantee is going to perform, you can go ahead and throw a little bit of the farm out. That's fine. Like you've built it up enough where you have options. You don't let guys like La Pantera go. Your boy. You don't let Vaughn go. God, hug him, hold him, snuggle him at night. but what you do is you say, hey, is this guy? He kind of hogtied anyway with whoever's in front of him. And you go ahead and knock this guy out, and can we maybe fill that that void in the outfield?
Right.
Can you get a deal that actually gives you team-friendly control for 3-4 years? Because I think the White Sox are 1 year now. I'd say half a season and one more season, and they're going to win that NL Central. I think that's where they're at. I think the 2021 season is White Sox or bust at that point.
That's the beginning, right? I mean, still, you have to have your whole pitching staff hit. You've got to have, Kopech come back and still be blowing 102. So there's definitely some variables. Lopez has got to do better. But if Giolito, I mean, he was lights out all-star the first half of the season. I mean, does he come back down to earth and regress a little bit and go to like a high 2, low 3 kind of ERA consistently? I think that's where he could live, and that's amazing. If he can do that for the next 8 years, fantastic. Moncada, I'm shifting gears there, but you need Cease to hit.
Yep.
So you need these guys. Like they can't flame out. They can't have control issues. Cease was amped up for his first game.
Yeah, I'm more curious to see what he does Tuesday night in Oakland.
Yeah. So there's going to be, like getting back to that Zoe's question about like what 2 players am I watching? I'm watching the entire White Sox team with curiosity.
That's good.
That's my big thing.
Yeah.
And I'm also watching the Cubs with curiosity too, because I want to see them. I don't know what they're going to do.
Tonight's like Christmas in Australia right now. It's mid-July, and tomorrow we get baseball again. We get real baseball, not showcase baseball. I've been miserable for 2 days now. I honestly, I'm like, wait, is it? I thought it's summer vacation, right?
Nope.
I'm like, oh, is it Friday yet? No, it's only fucking Wednesday. All right. This is great.
You know what else I'm going to be watching for the second half of the season? Twitter arguments on what they should do with Luis Robert. Because now you're going to start hearing about when you're going to start the clock. If you're going to have him on the opening day roster next season, you might as well bring him up now because it's the same damn thing.
Service time.
Yep. But he already got paid because he got paid when they brought him over. So, I mean, like, that's going to be the debate that you're going to see from now until either it happens or from now until mid-April next year.
So I know you'll find this shocking, but I agree. Bring him up now. Bring him up as soon as he's ready. Free agency's broken. The whole system has changed.
Yep.
You're going to extend him.
There's collusion going on.
And I mean, I think, that could be a big narrative this offseason too, is how many extensions do the White Sox hash out? You got Abreu, that's a priority. Might do Giolito. If you're paying Eloy,
right.
You're not going to pay Giolito. You're not going to pay Moncada.
Moncada's a big one too. Because
who do you pay from those 3? Abreu, Moncada, and Giolito.
Moncada.
I actually would too.
If you had to choose 2 of the 3, who do you choose?
Moncada and Gio.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, Moncada and Gio.
That's a really interesting part of this thing. Think about Abreu too. Like his contract, he's on what? He's got a couple more months left. Does he kind of take one? He says he loves the White Sox, right? Does he take one a little bit and go somewhere to help someone out as a rental to bring a couple drafts pick back to the White Sox? Comes back in the offseason, signs back with the White Sox, and kind of, or is that one of those things where it's like you cut your ties and you say F it, I'm out?
No,
like,
I think it would be a big risk. I think it would be a big risk by the White Sox front office to send him away and then hope to get him back, because I think it sounds like to me, and Rick Hahn is Mr. Tight-Lipped, does not negotiate through the media. It sounds like to me, from what Abreu's been saying, there might be some kind of minor home team discount.
Mm-hmm.
Or it sounds like a guy that doesn't want to be traded too. He's trying to like kind of sell it, or a guy that's doing PR or FaceTime saying, I love being a White Sox player, and if I get traded, now everyone knows I love the team.
Yeah.
I got but here's the good thing is it's like Tommy did. You still got that meat lovers pizza in the trunk.
Yep.
Right? Named Vaughn. And
right.
so,
but again, you'd rather have that problem than have the problem of like, well, we got to rush Vaughn to get up here, and we got to,
I think
force him into a scenario where he's not comfortable.
You really cannot underestimate with Jose Abreu is how vital he is to Eloy, Yo-Yo, and how, dude, he flew to Cuba to get Luis Robert.
He ate a passport.
He did. He did the pitch, and he went down for the in-person meeting. It was him and Renteria.
Yeah.
They went down there to do the thing. Like, I know there's people on Twitter that are in the Chicago media. What up, Herb? That say like, okay, leadership doesn't win games and all this other shit, which it doesn't. He's right. But if he's the reason that Eloy is adapting so quickly, if he's the reason that Yo-Yo turned that corner as quickly as he did, if he's the reason that, you know what I mean? Just like, if he's making that much easier for those guys, and I think he feels like he has stake in this game. Like he's putting time and effort to build.
I think what you're saying is like clubhouse chemistry matters.
Yes.
especially with him, like leadership, a guy you look to. It's like, here's a guy who has done it day in and day out. He speaks Spanish. He's Cuban. He understands my culture a little bit.
He's a fucking demigod in Cuba. These kids grew up wanting to be Jose Abreu.
I do have to point out, though, tonight on Thirsty Thursday in Kannapolis, Vaughn went 3 for 5 and scored 2 runs again.
Oh, that's 3 games. What up now, bitch? Tell your guy to suck it.
I got a guy that tells me Vaughn can play in 3 game sets like you have no idea. The guy can hit. Bring him up.
All right, boys. Well, this has been fun. We should do more shows fun like this.
I thought that's why we started this.
Yeah, we did. And then we got serious for a little bit.
For a while.
But now that both teams are actually fun again.
We're letting the kids play.
Yeah, we're going to I just want to play. They call me El Mago. I just want to play. So, yeah. I mean, unless you guys got anything else, let's put a bow on this one for this week. And
I got a guy that says end the show.
Yep, I got a guy that says real baseball tonight because this is coming out on Friday. So
we got a guy.
Whoa!
And if you want that game used baseball, we'll get you one.
Hey, give me 2, 3 of them. I'll go hit it against the wall a couple times.
Take it over to Father Zoe.
Yeah, gotcha.
Take it to Father Zoe on the south side. He'll hit it with a baseball bat a few times. Spit some dip on it.
I got a special going. 2 for 3.
Put a cigarette out on it. By the way, mister, did I see you with a cigarette in your hand?
I'll pop you.
Yeah, we got a little we got some stressful times going on in the Kowalski household, so cigarettes have been had, and it was 4th of July weekend.
Chantix.
Yeah.
Chantix. Jewel.
Oh, the jewel fucking hurts my chest. Anyways, so for Kevin
end it.
For Kevin Fiddler, Metanuco, Aldo Soto, we missed you, buddy. I'm Matt Zwaski. They call me Southside Zoe, and this is the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. We'll talk to you guys next week. I got a guy.